Okay, so right now I am going through my current resume, and then talking a little bit about why the last one wasn't necessarily the best. Actually, my last one was terrible. Not so much for last year when people were they were starved for hot tech talent, but now people are kind of used to the deluge of tech talent in the pool. So it's a bit more difficult to stand out nowadays. Um, yeah, so this is an SVG resume. I chose SVG because it's a lot easier to copy the text and have it make sense. Let me show you my previous one. That's what it looked like. And a bit about other projects as well, research that I've done. And this kind of looks nice. I like the layout. I think that it's readable personally. And there are things that are highlighted. That's kind of cool. It has links to my GitHub and NPM profile. Does that actually do anything? Yeah. So yeah, it's decent for what it did, but now there's a lot of tech talent in the pool. I'm not sure if I said that with this tape yet. I guess we'll probably edit this um, after I upload it. But yeah, let me go back to that actually. So if I copy all of the text and then paste it, and then go over to a text editor and paste it, it's all out of order, and it's not easy for this to get put into a system in a way that's human readable. Like there isn't a way that you can automate this. Or like there isn't a way that an artificially intelligent being would be able to make assumptions about what I mean by the things that I did. But with this one, if I copy all of the text and then paste it into a text editor, you can see it's all arranged nicely. Like there's spacing, you can kind of skim and then get a gist, feature implementation, bug diagnostics, list of technologies, and yeah, actual story time. I didn't go into as much detail with the jobs because honestly, I don't believe my experience is well summarized by jobs. Their environment is a lot more artificial and doesn't predict well how I'd interact in a different environment. But, you know, that's just me. And then I actually added a blurb that, I don't know if they'd consider that a cover letter. I don't have the links working yet, but that's the plan. So in my professional experience, I do have like literally text that you can see. And then a list of experiences. I think this is the interesting part. Meaningful experience. Hello, my name is Sam Washington and I'm really good at learning. I majored in learning and education studies after electrical and computer engineering because those math classes taught me exponential growth. And that looks like it's just all that's there. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but you can't see it here. Yeah, but if you go back to the text, hello, my name is Sam Washington and I'm really good at learning. That's there. Let me see if I can show you. Oh yeah, so WebStorm has this SVG view where you can view it live while you're coding it, and it's really helpful. So what I did was just bit by bit go through. Originally, I had it coded, not coded. I saved it from Illustrator, and then I went through and just removed all of the extraneous styles except for some bits. And kind of guessed at the layout that I was looking for and the stuff that I wanted to have on the actual resume. And then I just kept on iterating. Let's see what this looks like. So in this version, I had the idea of the links that I wanted to include, but I didn't actually make them links. There are lines and rectangles for the background and lines to know where things are placed. A lot of magic numbers, which still exist. And not as much detail. And then I have this other version that I've done a lot more with. You can see there's an actual CSS section. There are IDs, and there's something that's kind of like BEM, block element modifier, that style of writing CSS. And overall, I'm just pretty satisfied with it because all of the text is there. All of the text that I think that I would want is there. I have a lot of hidden text, which is meant to make it easier to copy and paste and have it actually make sense. And the structure of it, like the way that it's nested and the way that all of the sections work together, are there. One of the cool things is down here, where I have a whole bunch of like actual story time about where I came from, my journey through electrical engineering towards education. So yeah, I think that SVGs are going to be a really big thing in the future, like in the near future. Formats like SVG, where we're going to go a bit more into the declarative side of coding, and focus less on like making sure the code is, I'm not sure how to describe that. The focus is just shifting a little bit, but we're trying to describe more of what we're doing and why it's there instead of how we do it. We're going to leave that as an implementation detail to whichever systems we trust. Yep. What else? I also exported it as PDF. See what that looks like. And it kind of works in that I can copy all of the text, but when I paste it, you can see that it's still out of order, and the bottom comes up all jumbled because I don't think Adobe Acrobat, something about it just doesn't really work. I'm not entirely sure. Something with the PDF spec, I think. What else? I think that's the main thing. So I have this repository where I keep track of like the versions, the things that I can copy and paste between like the resume as an SVG and the resume as a PDF. Then I also have a version that I've gone into Illustrator and just saved. So I save it as the SVG, and then I open it again in Illustrator and then save it again with a different name. You can see there's different encoding. They replace all of the class names with shorthand. That's pretty cryptic and doesn't really make it easy to target different things. Yeah. And I think I'm not sure if they removed. Yeah, they rounded a whole bunch of stuff that I had intentionally as decimals. It's so interesting. The reason that I have them as decimals, or the reason that I added those decimals on purpose, was so that I could easily, I think this one-handed is kind of difficult. I get more used to that as time goes on. So I have these rectangles that serve as the section backgrounds, and each section depends on the offset from the last one. So right now we're on the bottom one, meaningful experience. So if I wanted to change the position of this transform, I just go over here and then press the star key, because I'm using Vim, and go back to that rect that defined it. And so if this changes, then I know to go to wherever I see this number, and they're dependent on each other. And for more local things, I use the same number a bunch of places, because all of these depend on each other. So yeah, that's basically it.